Ragnarok spoilers ahead. I already know this video is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'm actually quite certain and passionate on this one, especially after the release of Ragnarok. Now, before I get decimated in the comments for this, just hear me out first and feel free to berate me after, because I truly think Kratos needs to be retired as a character. Kratos, the ghost of Sparta, the marked warrior, the god of war. He has gone through one of the best character development arcs I've ever seen written, but it cost a lot to get there. It's not a revelation to say Kratos has had a very hard life, but honestly I think the difficulty of his life so far has a large impact, in my opinion, on Kratos' retirement. Like, let's actually go over all of his trauma. Zeus tricks Kratos into killing his wife and daughter. His brother, Deimos, was taken from him at a young age, and when he reunites with Deimos, he is killed and taken away once again. And then later he goes through hell, quite literally multiple times to kill all of the gods. Then he realizes everything he's done has doomed all of Greece into damnation. Afterwards, he tries to escape, going to Midgard, where he struggles to find love again, but eventually does, only for his new love to die as well, leaving him alone with Atreus, his new son, having the knowledge of what happened the last time he had a child. And then most recently, Brock having been killed by Odin. Now while it's no secret Kratos is actually a badass, God of War Ragnarok particularly humanizes him. And the scene I think of most for this is when Kratos gets the shakes looking at all the scars on his body, thinking about everything he's been through. Narratively, I think moving on from Kratos to Atreus is the best thing to do, as I think Kratos has been through enough, and he should finally get the peace the God of War deserves. Now I want to get into another thought process of this. Kratos is an older figure. The first God of War came out on PS2 in 2005, and there's a new wave of kids getting into God of War. But eventually, to keep the series going, the new kids I feel aren't going to want to play the old PS2 games solely because they will be spoiled in the graphics department. So to keep new fans, they're going to need to depart a tad from the old God of War, which also means a new mascot for the game, which I obviously think should be Atreus, and Kratos will remain a legendary figure in the series, until he dies at some point, or the franchise just ends. Now, I want to specify, I love Kratos as a character, but to keep the franchise alive, I just think this route is what needs to happen for it to continue. Okay, so I had actually released this video about a day or two ago, and that was where it originally ended, because I was really stressed about getting it out on time. But I really wanted to talk about this next section, so I deleted the original video and I'm re-uploading it now. Kratos literally doesn't want to go to war anymore. It took a lot of convincing to get him to go to war in Ragnarok anyway. So in my mind it makes absolutely no sense for him to go to Egypt, since that's what's being teased to happen next, and fight literally anyone there. And I fully understand that in the Norse duology, that Kratos also avoided battling anyone to the best of his abilities. But at the end of God of War Ragnarok, he sees a panel of prophecy foretelling him being worshipped by many instead of feared, which is the first time I think in the series we ever see him tear up. And with that, I ask, why would he leave the Norse area? He has friends now, family, and eventually, if the prophecy is true, followers, so I can't think of a single reason he would even want to leave in the first place, unless Atreus got captured or something like that. And that's why I think Kratos needs to be retired.